guess where we are today? There he is. He's sneaking in.
That's right.
We're at the Fab Forum shop. This is Kyle Voss, in case you guys don't know.
Kill Fab Farms, that's what I call it.
Kill Fab Farms.
Yeah.
But this shop is amazing. Let me just give you a little circle around here.
A lot going on.
Yes.
It's actually pretty dirty right now. It needs a mopping. But you know, when you work in shops, that's what happens.
Yeah, when you're doing work in here. I remember watching the video when you were
mopping it.
When you epoxied this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was a chore.
We used your information to go buy epoxy from my buddy's shop.
Oh yeah, do the same stuff?
Do the same stuff.
It's great, man.
He wanted all white though.
I didn't know they made it.
Yeah, he got all white.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where you have to keep a wet edge. So you're like constantly, once you start, you're in it until it's done.
Yeah. But he gets out there on his hands and knees and cleans it. He's a detail guy.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, that's my
it's got to be perfect.
That's the same my buddy is.
But guys, I'm just going to give you a little tour around his shop. This is the home of the bibster, in case you guys don't know.
It's my modern hot rod. My version of a modern hot rod, I guess is what you'd call it.
In case you can't tell, this was made out of a Fox body. It was a GT actually originally.
Yeah,
right?
It was like a 89 GT. Big Fox body fan. Kind of wanted to do something different, and just found a donor car that was destined for the junkyard. And then, basically what you see that's still Mustang is all that's left. The body will lift off. I mean, Brent could lift this thing off, no problem, in like 2 minutes. And then I built a full chassis for it underneath that kind of fit the specifications of what I was looking to achieve.
He has built everything on this car, down to the seats. So it's just...
Yeah. Seats, the suspensions, like if you look up front on the suspension, like all this is, whether it's right or not, it was dreamed up by me. I wanted to have that hot rod front axle look, so I tried to achieve that, but I also wanted the strut tower-ish feel to it. Homage to the Fox body here.
It still looks kind of stockish from this, it still looks like a stock strut.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's a stock spindle setup. I didn't want to have to recreate the wheel either, so like a lot of the pedal cluster I reused, the brake booster, the steering shaft and stuff I reused, although I think I'm going to make another steering shaft for it, but a lot of that stuff I wanted to minimize the amount of work I had to do. I want to be able to use like a clutch cable, just a off-the-shelf clutch cable.
I remember you said that in one of your videos, like you wanted to use stuff like something broke, you can just go to wherever and pick one up.
If I needed brakes or something for this thing, I can literally just go to the auto parts store, get brakes for a 89 Mustang or whatever parts it happens to be, and then put it on there. Obviously the motor's set back, and then I move the rear end forward to kind of give it that hot rod look that you are used to, like in the Model A's.
Radiators in the back, obviously.
That was the one thing, is I wanted to focus on making this kind of the focal point, the turbo and the whole front setup. And so I moved the radiator to the back so it's not in the way, and it's just got all aluminum tubing that runs coolant front to back on this thing.
And he's built this thing over the last...
I've been working on it technically like 6 years. I bought the car like 6 years ago. The car itself sat for about a year though.
Yeah.
Before I even started working on it.
In case you guys don't know, he's a self-taught fabricator essentially, right?
Yeah, man, I was one of those deals where, growing up in the late 90s, messing with Fox bodies, we wanted a turbo setup, we wanted a blower setup, we wanted to do whatever, fix the transmission. I just figure it out. I just take it apart, try to figure it out, TIG welding, all that stuff. I just nobody else knew how to do it. I couldn't afford to have somebody else do it, and so I just I'll figure it out myself. And that's kind of what I did.
So you see all those welding tables around here. Who are those welding tables by? I remember you did a video on them.
Those are Certiflat welding tables by a company that's Tag and Slot, I think is what they. Let me verify that. I got a tag right here. Certiflat tables. They're Certiflat tables. By weldtables.com is who offers those. They're actually really, really good tables. So you just put these together. They're modular. They got pins in them, and they got basically what you see on the outside. It stacks those in there to make sure that thing stays flat. You just snap it together, weld it up, They're amazing. This was the first one I had. I loved it, and so then I got another one from them, and I had to make it 30 inches tall so I could like sit down, or if I wanted to build a chassis on it, I technically could. That one right there weighs like 2,000 pounds.
And they come in like a flat box too, essentially, right?
Yeah. So this one here comes in a box. That one came on a crate.
Yeah.
Because it's so big, but they're great tables, man.
Yeah, man.
I love them.
Yeah, they're really cool. And you've made tools to actually fit in the holes and.
They make all the tools. So like all these pieces come, same deal. They're all tab and slot. So you just snap them together, and then I've just got them tacked together. But you can fully weld them if you want. And then they're set up to, even these side pieces are set up to take these adjusters.
Oh man.
So you just figure out what length you need, and once you snap this thing down, it kind of binds in there, and it won't move. So I was gonna clamp that, like I just kind of get it to the height, and then she's locked in. If it was taller, you just go up higher and then snap it in. So
That's really cool.
They work really well. And now I've got like this piece here. It's just a wider one, same deal. But you could mount these off the side. So if you needed something that kind of hung off the side, you can get actually wings for these things if you wanted to. You could put them on the table itself if you needed like a 90-degree piece. They're really versatile.
Here's some things you made. Your hand tool holder or your
so
power
these
tool holder.
these are my power tool holders. I've actually revamped them. So like this was the first version. Like these ones over here are the current version. But kind of the same deal. Just hold in kind of power tool, you slide in there. Or like these ones right here made by ZT Fab.
Oh, that's cool.
You just slide them in like that if you wanted to, but
Here we've got a like this whole little metal area, I guess, over here, right?
so yeah, this is a planisher. This is basically, just a hammer, air hammer that hammers down. Right now I've got like a plastic die in there, so it's softer on like aluminum, but you can do, they got metal ones.
Oh,
You put in
nice.
there. So that basically just smooths stuff out, planishes pieces. You can stretch metal with it if you want to. And then the English wheel is really what I use to kind of really put the stretch on it.
I remember this from your original shop, right? This was in your.
Yeah, my bead roller.
I remember you used to have people send you stickers to put on it.
Yep. A lot of the stuff in here you look at. So this, for a long time on the YouTube channel, I just get people to send me stickers. And you can get play on it. Now you're getting play on Brent's channel. So, all these people that sent stuff, and then I did it. So even though I made a table for this thing that flips up, same deal. It's got a bunch of stuff on it. And then my brake was the same way. I always put stickers on this thing. I've quit doing that.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time, but
I don't think you've done that since you moved, have you?
it got to where I would, I'd tell people, hey, send stickers to me, but I quit getting them in the mail, and so I was like, I just won't push it no more. But I mean, yeah, man, a lot of this stuff, Swag Off-Road, obviously the Kirky was probably one I bought, but this is a YouTube channel here, R&R Restorations.
Nice.
So, yeah, man, just kind of, it's my payback to the community,
Sure. This I remember. Did you make this? Did you order this in a kit or did you
So
make
this
it?
is the same deal. This comes from weldtables.com. It's a certified deal. It's basically a big hydraulic brake. But yeah, it's a kit. You buy it. It all snaps together. You weld it up. Put just a Harbor Freight hydraulic jack in there, and then you can break stuff. I made this plate on the bottom. It comes with these tubes in there.
Well, that's cool.
So you can break whatever thickness stuff you want to break in there, and it works really well. For like the thicker brackets and stuff you want to break, you do it in here, and then the sheet metal stuff you do in this one over here.
Perfect. What is this? Is that like a power hammer kind of?
No, that's it's an iron worker. Here, I'll show you how this thing works. This thing
man.
badass. Let me move my Fronius stuff.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Fronius.
Oh yeah, Fronius.
So like what this thing's made to do is, let's see here. See if I've got one. So if like you have some like really thick plate,
Oh,
so like
yeah.
this is what? That's probably like 3/8.
Yeah, at least.
So if you need a hole in that, like you're gonna put a bolt in it, you don't want to drill that, right? You want to. Right here's the die in there. Holy cow!
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like effortless.
Yeah.
So it'll shear the same way. So like it's got a shear right here.
Yeah.
I can stick that plate in there and just cut it off.
Wow.
And you wouldn't even hear it bog down. And then it's got an angle shear as well. Like you have angle iron, you can put it in there.
That's really
Same
cool.
deal.
That come out of an old shop somewhere, or?
Yeah, that came out of one of our local career centers.
Oh, nice.
They were upgrading with new equipment. These things are typically pretty expensive. You
Yeah,
try
I
to
would
find
say.
one. My brother-in-law found this one, got a sweet deal on it, and didn't have anywhere to put it. And he's like, "Hey man, I just bought an iron worker. Can I keep it at your shop?" I was like, "Yes, you can."
No doubt.
We just converted the hydraulic motor to single phase because this was a 3-phase machine. Converted it, works awesome. I don't use it that much, but when you need it, it gets the job done.
Yeah, 65 ton. Holy cow.
Yeah, like it didn't even slow down.
Yeah, that was like
And
nothing.
it usually, so it just spits the
Yeah, that's.
little core out. It's like it never even.
You can give those to the kids for a slingshot.
Yeah.
They'll knock the neighbors' windows out, you know. Here's the English wheel where he was talking about earlier.
So cool story behind that. I got that from Mike Furyk. I don't know if a lot of you fabrication guys might know Mike Furyk. He makes the big Furyk cups, the welding cups, the white ones.
He's up near me, right, in Mooresville?
He is.
Yeah.
So he's a big time. He's a big time old fab guy. He used to work and make IndyCar parts and exhaust and headers and you name it. All Inconel and titanium and all the fancy stuff. Anyway, he had this thing and was like, I was talking to him at like FabTech one year and I was like, "Hey man, I'm really looking for an English wheel. You think you can find one?" He was like, "Dude, I got one. I'll sell you." I was like, "All right." So I went and picked this up and it came out of Red Bull Racing. It's got a tag on it still.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it's kind of got some pretty cool history to it.
I've been in that shop to do the printer, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right on.
The Red Bull Racing shop. That was a cool shop.
Yeah. So, nowadays, especially now they got the new version of the NASCARs. They don't even make those body panels anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's all pre-stamped by NASCAR and you just buy them from them. And so a lot of those guys, they don't need none of this stuff anymore. They just, they don't have to make anything. They just buy it and use the...
You think it's going to become a dying art?
Oh yeah, it already is.
Yeah.
It already is. It's cool though, man. You get in there and you make something, you see some of the stuff I've played around with. You can take like a flat piece of metal and just
So cool.
roll it into submission or beat it into submission.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Use this lead bag here and you just start beating it. So you can see like all that's from the planisher.
Yeah. That's kind of cool looking the way that is. Yeah.
It's like that hammer tone.
Yeah. Almost looks like snakeskin or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is cool.
All right. And we got you made this, your
Yeah, it's my
hammering
fab
block
block
here?
I made kind of just for the lead bag and to hold some tools. And then I started making pieces that would kind of fit into it if I needed to, round something over. Kind of tried to make it as convertible as I possibly could where you could put
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
different shape in there or something. Obviously my mallets for the bead bag. I don't use this thing near as much as I thought I would. I went through this like Jesse James.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm gonna make everything by hand. And I did. I mean, I
Yeah.
use it a lot on this thing, but it's kind of, if you're not building something like this,
Yeah.
good luck trying to, good luck needing it. You're not
Yeah.
gonna really need to do it. So
But you got it. Just
I got
in
it.
case.
It comes in handy when I do need it.
Yeah.
And then the shrinker stretchers.
Oh yeah.
So I've got two, one shrinks, one stretches. All of these you can change the dies in and they'll do either or. It's just easier to not have to change the dies, and so I bought two. And so basically this has some jaws in here, and this one's a stretcher. So as the jaws come down, you can actually see them spread apart. So it kind of grabs that metal and then stretches it a little bit every time you do that. And this one does the exact opposite. So when the dies come down, they come together. So this one's got a gap. You can actually see the gap. See that gap, and as you push the pedal, it kind of brings it together.
Yeah.
And it just kind of tucks that metal and shrinks it up over.
That's cool. Kind of, I guess, to make the round.
Yeah.
So make them curve around and.
For instance, like this part, all this is shrunk.
Mm-hmm.
So it was flat, and then as I shrunk it down, it kind of pulls this piece in and causes, gives it some shape this way. And if you were to stretch it, it'd do the opposite. So the flange would be on this side, but it would curve this way.
He's made me want to do, like, I've made a lot more stuff myself after watching your channel. I want to do more.
Yeah.
When I do my engine bay, I'm going to do some stuff that, I'm going to do one thing that nobody's done on a Fox body. I can't really say what that is yet because I'll give away a secret, but.
I might do it.
Yeah.
He tells me I might do it.
Yeah. So I'll mess up a lot. I may have to come down here for a lesson or something, but you guys stick around for that. But let's.
The one thing I would say, like a good starter piece that everybody can use, is a bead roller.
Oh yeah.
Because you're gonna put beads. Like you can make panels that have beads, like these seats, for instance. I mean, all this was done with a bead roller. So all these designs here, all the ones on the floor, all that stuff is all bead rolled. And there was some shrinker stretcher stuff done in here, but in a little bit of English wheel, but most of that design is in the bead roller itself.
I'll definitely want to do something in engine bay. I want to do some bead roll stuff.
Yeah, it gives everything some character for sure.
Let's look at your newest toy over here. I guess this is the newest one, right?
Oh yeah, the plasma table.
Plasma table?
Yeah. So look, this is so I tell everybody that follows me, my favorite tool of all times is a plasma cutter. Just a handheld plasma cutter. You don't use it that much, but when you do use it, it makes your work so much easier. And that's what this is. This is what I used to have forever. And it's just a handheld plasma table. You put a piece of metal on here, you plasma cut through it. This is also by weldtables.com. It's a kit. You just kind of snap it together and weld it up. But then I upgraded to something that does it on its own. And this is my Westcott CNC plasma table. This one is a 5x10. It's probably a little bigger than I actually needed. Now that it's in here, I could probably got away with like a 4x8. Considering that the sheets come in 4x8, 4x8 would have been fine. But yeah, man, this thing's awesome. You throw a design in there, it buzzes it out like butter, and then you have stuff to work with. I've got some stuff over there we can look at that I've made, but it is legit.
This is really cool. I like it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. How often do you have to replace I guess it depends on what you're cutting.
Yeah.
How often you're cutting.
So mainly I cut down here. So you can see this is where most of the most of the problems happen. But you can actually take these, flip them over,
okay,
and then use them. Or when it comes time to replace them, you can just buy these strips already. You can get them this width and in length. You just have to chop them to size, and then you just put them in there and
swap it out.
Swap it out.
Very cool.
It really changes the game, because when you want to make a bracket, you want to make some kind of custom bracket, or you want to make some, or even like a transmission mount or something, you can just go in there, buzz it up, and make it happen right then. You don't have to wait on nobody else to do it.
Oh yeah.
This is a piece of art here that I made. This is a 0304 Cobra. We're gonna make a sign out of this. We're bringing out backlit for a buddy of mine. That was a C10
It's like a fire pit.
That's what it is. It's a C10 fire pit. So the idea is that the fire would be back here, and I'll probably make a grill top for it. And then if you wanted to warm buns or something,
Oh, yeah.
you could do it there. And then this was something I made for a buddy of mine local.
Very cool. And here's if you guys have seen his channel, here's the shot.
Yeah, if you ever watched You Need This Tool,
Yep.
that's where it happens right there. I haven't done one of those in a long
I
time.
know, it's about time for a new tool.
I ran out of tools, man. That was the problem. It's like when you're telling people, this week we got a dead blow hammer.
Yeah.
You know that you've ran out of tools. And so
Oh yeah, exactly.
instead of just keeping it going and kind of just feeding stuff that was, wasn't that exotic, I just, if I come up with stuff, I find something, I drop one every once in a while, but not like every Friday like I
Yeah, it used to be. It's Friday, fool.
Every Friday I
Yep.
would drop a tool.
You also have a podcast now too, right?
I do. It's not associated with motorsports. It's more business side, but it's called the South Cac Syndicate Podcast. We've got, I don't know, we're almost 20 episodes deep, I guess.
Oh man.
So you guys go check that out. We're on YouTube and really anywhere you can stream a podcast. I actually made, check this out. We haven't put it on there yet, but so I cut that the other day.
Okay.
I'm gonna have that in the studio. It's
Nice.
all backlit, blue LEDs and stuff, so it should
Oh,
look
that's really cool. Yeah.
Should look pretty cool.
Here's your tubing bender. Didn't you modify this to be hydraulic?
A buddy of mine did before I bought it. He actually did all the mods, and I just bought it the way it is. But yeah, this is like a JD squared manual bender, like one of those ones you pull on it to get it to work, and then he just took some angle iron, put a hydraulic cylinder in there, and he actually made the legs and everything, and it works great. Gets the job done for sure.
Yeah.
Built that. I literally built this whole thing on this bender.
Yeah, this is cool. We also got the Goose over here. This is your first car, right?
This was a car I bought in high school. I think I was a sophomore.
What year did you buy? I think you beat me by a year.
Yeah, I bought it in 85.
In
in 95.
Okay, we're same year. I bought mine in 95.
Or maybe 94. I graduated in 96.
Okay.
So we might be close.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could look that up somehow when I purchased that thing. But we're close. We're close. It was 94, 95. I
I
bought
can
it.
probably figure out when the title was issued, maybe. Or like when you changed it into your name.
Yeah, I got it somewhere. But anyway, yeah, I drove this thing as my daily for a long time, and then, like most of us did when we were young, we add this, add that, and
Yep.
take off this, take off that, and the next thing you know, you don't really want to drive it no more.
Yep, I've been there. Yep.
And so now poor thing just sits, really.
Poor thing. He's got this sweet turbo set up in here.
So I actually ran this car in NMRA factory stock for a couple years. And I don't know if anybody's really familiar with NMRA factory stock, but stock block, stock K-member, stock cam, stock intake. Basically, you could run the Explorer intake. I think they gave you weight if you ran the Explorer intake. You could run the E7 heads, or you could run GT40P heads, and they'd add weight, or the GT40 heads. Anyway, basically, you were very limited on what you could do. Shorty headers, full exhaust with tailpipes and everything on the back. Stick class on the original drag radials, the BFGs, not the ones that work.
Yeah.
These ones didn't really work that
Yeah.
well. And I ran that class for a little while. The car went 12 flat, I think, with that combo, which is crazy. You think like a stock cam,
Oh yeah.
stock headed,
To get it together that fast. What was the weight?
3250.
Okay.
So it wasn't even that light.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah.
No.
My car's weighs less than that now with
Yeah.
full interior.
It was all about the little things that you had to pay attention to. So I ran that for a while, and then when I got done, I was like, man, I've been so limited on what I could do to this thing. Let's just go wild. Let's go, it's got dart block in it now. It's 400 cubic inches. We'll go twin turbo. We'll do all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of wish I didn't go that route.
Now it just sits.
It's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun to drive. I enjoy it, but it's not, the wife doesn't want to ride in it with me. It's not that loud. We can crank it up if you want.
Oh man. I probably haven't heard it since Foxtoberfest.
In Kannapolis?
In Kannapolis when you brought it there. That's when I first saw you and learned about your channel.
Yeah, I think I brought it there and it was like open headers, like open downpipes too.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't even think I had it really done yet. Which is not done, but.
They're never done.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So it's a glide setup, 8.8. You know, it's got all the race stuff that you would need.
You guys can't really see, but the charge pipes run like up and back around there through the.
Yeah, so when I built this thing, I didn't want it to be that busy. And it's still kind of busy under the hood, but I wanted it to be as minimal as I possibly could. And so I dumped the exhaust right out through the frame rail, and then it ties back in and then kind of runs traditional throughout the back. And then the charge pipe goes through the intercooler in the front, and then the charge pipe actually comes up through the fender here under the cowling, so it's actually in the car, and then it comes out into the motor. The original version of this had a handmade intake that I built. It was more of like a log style intake, and the throttle body was actually in the car.
Oh man.
Yeah. And the more I kind of fooled with it, I was like, I don't know, I don't want to do this, and I ended up kind of changing it up. But when you
probably make it harder for troubleshooting or something if you had to.
I don't know. I was kind of worried about like throttle body whistle in the car and just little stuff like that. I was like, I don't want to fool with this. And so I kind of changed the setup to what I got currently. But the ultimate goal was when you raise the hood, it's just as bare and minimal as possible. You know, I went back and put all the inner, kind of recessed the wastegates in the fender and stuff, but kind of tried to put it back together where it looked halfway original.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Then we got a new project hiding over there.
Yeah, that's the COVID coupe. That's what I call
COVID
that.
coupe.
Which is why you're here.
Yeah. I had to swing by and make a donation to the COVID coupe.
Yeah. Which was awesome, much appreciated. Got a K member that's gonna go in this thing. So the idea with this is like an 85 coupe car. Pretty rough. Salvageable, but still pretty rough. But I think what I want to do is make the inside and under the hood very much me, very nice. Maybe do a lot of fabrication. I haven't really decided yet. I might build the whole interior myself out of sheet metal, but then leave the outside rough and clear it. Other than, like, what I'll do is, like, I'll make all the trim pieces will be nice and clean and painted. Mirrors will be perfect. You know, every black piece, the little pieces, the buckets for the headlights in the front will be nice and clean and painted. Kind of have that stormtrooper look to it, maybe.
I think that'll look good for sure.
And then just clear everything else, the rust, all that stuff. I'll just clear it the way it is. And
you can actually buy a new trim now too if you don't have it, like the
sides. I know that was tough to find for a long time.
Yeah, you can get it from MPD.
Is it?
Actually has it. I put it on my cars. Mine's the earlier style.
Yeah.
Like that one.
Oh yeah, the double.
Yeah, the double. I mean, the only thing that I didn't like, the door seems a little bit short.
Oh, I got you.
So you gotta like put it
Yeah.
kind of center it up, but
I thought about who is that? I've seen it at Pitt's a couple years where they like French it in.
yeah, that strawberry
I've
candy
seen a
color
couple
car.
of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about doing that, but the problem with this thing is I got to figure out color wise because I don't want a black trim up front and then white down the side.
Yeah.
So I'd either have to paint that white and like distress it,
Yeah.
or I don't know.
I almost like the trim on it myself.
Yeah,
I know there's
I'm a trim guy too.
like the War Admiral. He didn't do it in the middle. I haven't got to talk to him about it yet, but they've talked about it on their podcast.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. They just leave
Yeah.
it off.
I think it looks unfinished, but
The thing about like War Admiral and those cars, they're solid colors.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stand out as bad.
that's true. Yeah.
Right, and they're dark colors. You know, it's when you get the light colors, I think it really stands out more. But
Plus, if you put trim on, you can kind of cover up that whatever's going on.
I'm
right
gonna
there.
fix that.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, that donor car out back, I'm gonna cut this
Okay.
piece. I'm gonna cut that whole piece out.
That's
I'll
weird. It rusted right there.
I know. I'll re-weld it because somebody tried to fix it and they didn't do a good job. So I'll fix that piece.
Well, yeah, you got a donor car for that. So.
I'll cut that out. I'm gonna try to make it as straight as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell a lot of people like, if you're familiar with like welder up, think of like the welder up version of a Mustang.
Yeah.
You know, maybe do like runs out of the door handles and out of the lock and stuff.
Kind of make it a little bit more distressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be clean and shiny. I'll actually want to wash it. It won't
Yep.
be like dirty where I won't.
And be cleared over top of the patina.
I'll clear all this.
Yeah.
I might even take the rust out and then just use like a oxide colored primer to like
Fake it back,
recreate
yeah.
it. So we'll see.
Yeah. This is going to be a cool car. For sure.
Hope to do a lot of tube work on it. Probably do a little factory mini tub.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stretch those factory mini tubs in a little bit where, I don't know that I'll run a big wide tire on it, but I'd love to take and tuck a tire. If you look at like the Goose,
Yeah.
that's a 10-inch rear wheel, and usually
275.
it's a 275/50.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll run that exact same wheel, but they'll do it with a 6.5-inch or 5.5-inch back spacing,
Yeah.
so it's right on the edge. Well, I narrowed the rear end on that one 1.25 inches, and then did a 6.5-inch back spacing, so it just tucks it just that little bit,
Oh, yeah. Just gives it.
just that just that little tiny bit where it looks like it's meant to be.
Yep. Is it raining now?
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can hear it loud.
Yeah, it gets.
Yeah. It's actually probably just sprinkling.
Yeah.
It just sounds like it's raining.
Oh, man. Well, cool. And then this was his grandpa's truck.
Yeah, this was one
Cool
I
little
did.
C10.
Did this one on the channel too. This was
Yep.
it was pretty clean on the outside. The inside was pretty rough, and went through, spent some money,
Yeah.
redid the whole interior on it.
Did you get it from like LMC truck or something?
did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
So seats, carpet, headliner, seat belts, dash, all the rubbers, all new.
All the trim on the outside.
All the trim on the outside, mirrors, handles are all new. While I was in there, I went in and put locks and window motors and all that stuff in there too.
Does it have power windows? I didn't even notice
Yeah,
that
it's
before.
all power,
Nice.
AC. I mean, it's a cool little truck.
Very cool. Got your phone set up over there? Display?
Yeah, they hit me up and said, "Hey man, would you use? If we gave you some displays, would you use them?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
send them."
of course. Well, cool guys. This has been on YouTube. It's the Fab Forums. I don't know if we said that already. His name's Kyle Voss, and the podcast is
South CAC, like South Carolina, but South CAC Syndicate Podcast.
Yep.
Like I said, it's on YouTube, or you can just stream it wherever you listen to podcasts.
He's got his Fox Body FX shirt hat on today.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you watching, and till next time, I'm out of here.